Hey, welcome back to the channel. So, in this video, we have the new version preview, Blazing Night. And we got one legendary new Esper, and that is Gilgamesh. Wow, this is gonna be fun. Let's see. Let's watch the version preview together. Let's go.
We've all seen her around. One watching over the streets of Gyrate after dark. Some applaud her as the righteous warrior, as to the darkest parts of
Isn't that
others
Ashley's
also
job?
fond of her harsh methods, or how she serves justice. Parties may call her a criminal. Us, she's anything but. But this place needs a hero.
Fatima. Hey, hey, hey. Wait, what is his? What is her category? Legendary fighter. Nice, nice, nice. Let's go.
Even the shadows hide from me. I will banish evil.
Whoa, she looks so cool. What is Dragnet? Ooh. Yeah, as usual, this is a trial. Yep. And limited time, some Simmer River. Wow, we got another Simmer River. So for those of you guys who is wishing for a new Simmer legendary Esper, this is your time to choose which one do you want. Like they have been very generous to us lately, like giving us. I think because we have so many Espers to choose from now, like trying to get everything as a free to play is gonna be really, really hard, especially the Simmer Legendary. Like without this, I myself don't even have a Simmer Legendary. So yeah, this is a good event. Yeah, this is a good event. Knockout. What is happening in the knockout? Knockout's new matchmaking mode allows you to challenge more powerful opponents and win more points. Wow. Wow. So it's not enough now that we are struggling against our same level opponent. They give us a chance to actually find a stronger opponent that we definitely gonna die from. But yeah, I think this is such a small update. There's nothing big happening like Fatima. It's just it's just a really cool Esper coming out. So yeah, is it done? Like I see there's a couple of seconds more here. Yeah, there's no more story there. So let's take a look at the patch 3.4.7 details. And we got Fatima, Gilgamesh, 5-star Inferno. And I took a look at the skill set here. It's kind of a little bit disappointing. It's like I expected a lot coming from Gilgamesh, but the skill set is actually very, very straightforward. So let's take a look together. Fatima is an AoE fighter Esper with access to multi-stage attacks. She can obtain attribute bonuses based on buffs gained by enemies. This is the unique thing from her. So the more buffs the enemy has, the more stats like permanent stats Fatima will get. So this is definitely a counter for someone like Feng Sun. Because I myself have trouble, I'm struggling to fight against Feng Sun, Mavis, all those kinds of buffers combo. Like they have 12 buffs on each of their Esper. If I don't have Raven, like it's gonna be a hell to try to take out all of those buffs, and also those buffs prevent us from putting like a debuff on them. Like I cannot put too many debuffs on them because they have a ton of buffs covering their limited 12 space for buffs and debuffs. So yeah, it's definitely a problem. So instead of giving us another like dispel all the buffs, dispel all buffs espers like Raven, they probably, if they release that kind of esper, then Raven gonna become obsolete. So I can see why they not releasing another esper that can do that. And instead, they try to punish the other team from trying to, keep like 12 buffs in a single team. So we got Fatima, and let's take a look at her skills. Ability 1, cleansing, attacks one enemy multiple times. I do expect like the multiple times part here actually hits a lot of times, like at least 3 times, 3 or 4 times, like we already have a lot of espers that can hit twice. Like twice, I don't really consider twice 2 hits as a multiple times hitting, like it's still okay. Like it can go through Ana's shield at least. Like you get 50% of your damage in, but I do expect it to be like 3 times at least, because 3 times means that 2/3 of your damage will go into Ana. You know, so yeah, let's take a look later at PTR if the time for Fatima comes, and increases Fatima's AP. So this is good. Like you definitely do want Avatara, or you also want like someone like Liam that can call allies, or someone like who is that? Who is the emo guy, the new emo guy? Chu Yao, yes. So Chu Yao gonna help Fatimas a lot, and I do expect, because this is a fighter Esper, so I do expect her to have high attack, and it also helps from her stats here. I'm gonna explain it later. Ability 2, Atonement, attacks one enemy multiple times, steals their buffs. Now, how many buffs Fatima gonna steal depends on how many times she hits the enemy. So yeah, I do expect this to hit like 3 or 4 times, because if stealing 2 buffs is kind of like useless if you only steal 2 buffs. So I do expect this to hit a lot of times. So again, cannot judge these 2 skills before we actually know how many times this skill is gonna hit and also how much damage this skill gonna deal. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Ability 3, Golden Judgment, attacks. I'm gonna call the Ascension one here, because yeah, who doesn't get Ascension nowadays? Attacks all enemies multiple times, increases damage based on the number of Sun Glory stacks, and Sun Glory stacks is nothing. This is a golden buff that do nothing. It doesn't give you anything. And number of Sun Glory stacks. Each time an enemy gains a buff, permanently increases Fatima's attributes. So here's the thing. Each time an enemy gains a buff, so someone like Feng Sun who gives buffs to his entire team will gonna give a ton of Sun Glory stacks for Fatima. So definitely Fatima straight away gonna get a maximum number of Sun Glory stacks the moment someone like Feng Sun casts his buffs. Permanently increases Fatima's attributes up to a limited amount. So this is the problem. Like I would have said that she is gonna be insanely strong. Like this is gonna be her main kit, this thing. But this wording here, like I'm gonna see that how limited is the amount of the stats increase. Because if the limit is too low, then it's gonna be useless. Like even when Fatima gain attributes, then it's not gonna make her that much useful. Because this is the only ability that she has that do a unique thing. The third skill. The first skill, the second skill is like, very, very normal. Yeah, so this is what she is all about. Where is it? This one. Permanently increases Fatima's attribute. This is all she is about. So her worth depends on this sentence here. How many attributes she gonna increase? How much percentage? How much is the number that's gonna be the judge of whether she's gonna be useful or not? And gains Sun Glory there. So yeah, when Sun Glory stacks reach the limit, instantly cast this ability and removes all Sun Glory stacks. So this ability itself attacks all enemies multiple times. Okay, increase the Sun Glory stack. So yeah, it's gonna deal quite a heavy damage. I do expect this because the Sun Glory stacks here. It doesn't do anything, so I do expect this to increase the damage by a lot at least. Okay, and at the start of the combat gains fighter's resolve. So this is something that you can take. Reduce damage taken. So this is just like Sakura, but for herself. When Sun Glory stacks reach the limit for the first time and Golden Judgment is cast, removes this effect. So yeah, it only happens once. Yeah. So she is not gonna get her damage taken reduced the whole time she is in the battlefield. It is only after it is only up until she casts her third ability. So this, I do expect this to reduce damage taken by at least above 50%. I do expect this to be like 75% or 80% or even 100%. Like if this is 100% damage reduction, then yeah, definitely take Fatima, because Fatima cannot be you cannot do anything to Fatima before she casts her third skill. That's gotta be really really good if that's the case. But again, we're gonna need to wait until PTR to judge whether this is something that is worth taken for with our wish stone or not. Now, at the start of combat, gains fighter's resolve. If a target attack defense speed is below hers, when she deals damage, gains Sun Glory for its attribute below her own. So, because she uses 3 stats in here, I expect her to have a similar build as Jinchu. Because Jinchu use high attack percentage number and high defense percentage number as the skill damage. And now Fatima use all these 3 stats. So because we do have a limited substats that we can increase from our equipment, so there is no way that you can increase attack, defense, speed, critical rate, and critical damage using your equipment. You need to choose whether you want to increase your attack, defense, speed, or you want to increase your attack, critical rate, critical damage. You cannot have everything. So I do expect that at least the percentage number of these stats is really really high for Fatima, and also the bonus, the permanent stats that she gets gonna increase, like permanent increase Fatima Steve is gonna increase these 3 stats here. Then it's gonna be worth building her equipment. Otherwise, her equipment is kind of like weird, because for Jinchu's case, like it's okay if Jinchu increase attack, defense, and speed, because Jinchu's damage are all true damage. You cannot get any benefit at all from critical rate and critical damage for Jinchu. But for Fatima, there is no mention here that her skills cannot deal critical damage. So you can still deal critical damage in here, but you do also need to increase your attack, defense, and speed. So yeah, good luck building her. Like it's gonna be really really hard to build her well. If you want her to deal high damage, then you need to choose whether you want to prioritize defense, critical rate, and critical damage, or you want to prioritize attack and critical rate and critical damage. But then you won't be playing around with your Sun Glory stacks if you do build her like that. So yeah, it's just like the other day, like I just recently made a video of Falcon. It's not that Falcon is bad, it's just that it's really really hard to build a perfect Falcon. So it's gonna be the same problem with Fatima later. So she gonna gain Sun Glory for its attribute below her own, and immune to control effects inflicted by enemies whose attack, defense, speed is below hers. This is the best part, for her. Like you cannot control Fatima as long as you increase these 3 stats. So then again, like another benefit for increasing these 3 stats, but like I said, because she also still can get benefit of critical rate and critical damage, so she gonna deal less damage than those who build her with critical rate and critical damage. If you do focus on trying to build her with immunity to control. But you do have 2 options, like 2 builds for her. If you go to PvE content, then obviously immune to control effects is not something that is important in PvE content. So you can go with critical rate and critical damage build. But if you go to PvP, then it is much better to get the immunity to control effects rather than trying to make Fatima deal as much damage as possible. Like survivability is much more important. Like a dead DPS deals 0 damage. Always remember that. Yeah. So yeah, that's all her skill. Like very straightforward. Like nothing to judge. Yeah, I cannot judge her from all these sentences here. I need to see the percentage number. Like it's very straightforward in here. You know, I can keep guessing all day, and anything makes sense. You know, like low percentage number with high, increase attributes increase number, or high basic percentage number for her skill, but low attributes increase, or both of them are gonna be high, and that gonna make Fatima really OP, an OP Esper. You know, like everything can happen, anything can happen. So resonance, we're gonna go to the resonance. Resonance 2, golden judgment morph, change, golden judgment. Each time enemies gain a buff, Fatima gains a permanent attribute boost up to a limited amount. So definitely resonance 2 is a must for Fatima because she doesn't have any other utility in her skills here. So to get another utility for her, she needs to be at resonance 2. This is gonna increase her attributes much higher. You know, you get each time an enemy gets a buff, you get this one. What? Is this gonna be double? Like I just noticed now, like the sentence is exactly the same. Each time enemies gain a buff, Fatima gains a permanent attribute bonus. Okay, it's permanent increase. What the hell? This is a different sentence with the same meaning. So yeah, we will see. Like if this is really coming from her resonance too, not from her ascension, then yeah, this is a typo. So you definitely need her to be at resonance too. Because then this is not coming from her ascension rather than from her resonance too. So if this is really that is the case, then she doesn't have anything special at all for her waiting at resonance 0. You know, she is just a normal lady. Yeah. Now going to the resonance 4, when attacking outside of one turn, damage increases. So this is quite alright, you know, because every time she gets her Sunglory stacks to the limit, she's gonna cast her third skill. So for Esper like Feng Sun, who buffs every single turn, like this is gonna be insanely good counter against him. But this is the damage increase part. You know, you can do that whilst even when she is at resonance 0. Now the resonance 6, a new effect is added to golden judgment, permanently increases counter attack chance up to a limited amount. This is what confused me the most. In which part does she counter attack? Like which part she counter attacks? Like what? is this considered a counter attack? Like where is it? This one. Is this considered a counter attack? I don't know. Like, isn't this like, you know, a gain a bonus turn? Like not a counter attack, not. And also when the Sunglory stacks reach the limit, like this is 100% chance to trigger, right? There's no way once I get a Sunglory stacks to reach the limit, I have 50-50 chance of triggering this. Like what the hell? So yeah. I don't know what they mean by this resonance 6. Like permanent increases counter attack chance up to a limited amount. Like you know, I need to go into the game and see the number. Like you know, how much percentage change is increased and how much is the limited amount. Like does this affect Avatara only? You know, the counter attack from Avatara or something else. Like she doesn't have any counter attack in here. Yeah. So yeah, this is a very confusing Esper. So that's why I can analyze Esper. You know, like try to judge the Esper before the Esper make its way into the game. But for Fatima's case, no, I cannot. I give up. This is very confusing, you know. So yeah, we I think that's the thing. This is a very small update. Like I said, there's nothing else new in here, and the reverb. I heard that the reverb gonna have Wuyo up until Wuyo inside. Like I've heard from my friend, but there is no guarantee that that is the case. Like that, I haven't read anything about that. So yeah, it's not a guaranteed. But I heard. Don't take it from me. Like I heard from someone that it's up to Wuyo. Yeah. So the limited time echo event for the wish is Fatima, Mavis, and Archibald. So those of you who still haven't got Mavis, this is your time to wish for her. And for those who doesn't have Archibald and you want to try the Javid and Archibald combo, then this is your chance to. As long as you have the Javid first. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, a small update. So we will see again Fatima in the PTR testing. So hope you guys enjoyed this video and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.